Wale watu ambao wanasema Ruto must go, wao tunataka tuongeze tuseme Ruto and the system must go.
And I'm calling upon Kenyans, as a matter of respect, I am pleading with the Kenyans to either take part in the demonstrations or mark that day from their homes, so that we show the entire world that Kenya cannot live in a situation where impunity is not punished.
We have pronounced ourselves very clearly that the 25th of June 2024 and subsequent June 25th anniversaries will be national holidays. We have also said, in fact, the additional thing is there should be a monument that should be constructed in memory of these young Kenyans who lost their lives. And yet we continue to see these atrocities continue. We hope that Mr. William Ruto, having just recently come from the G7, that he will have acquainted himself with some of the international values that accompany countries that proclaim democracy and the rule of law. That he will have been reminded that Article 37 of the Kenyan Constitution, the right to hold peaceful demonstrations, is a basic right in this country.
Violently, tear gas and everything. So it should not be lost to the state that this is a petition and a demonstration called upon by the mothers, the grieving mothers. Secondly, they should not be, threatening and intimidating those who want to hold demonstrations. The president talks as if Kenya is a monarchy. We know when somebody goes to give a notice of a demonstration, that demonstration is being given in accordance with the law. And there is a requirement under the law that if somebody gives a notice, the police are required to give protection and protect the rights of those who are demonstrating. So the question about destruction of property is a matter which the police have a duty to make sure that a thing like that happens. A thing like that doesn't happen, that nobody is injured, that nobody is killed. And going by what happened in 2024, everybody was killed by the police. It was not killed by they were not killed by ordinary Kenyans. They were killed by the police. So it is their responsibility. We urged, like the mothers did, those who listened to what Mother Kennedy said. She said that the 25th and then the next day, the 26th, should be a public holiday. If you can commemorate the day Kenyatta was arrested and detained, in the past, we had Kenyatta Day. What about on a day when nearly more than 50 young people were killed brutally by the police? So our call for the public to give respect to the departed, to the injured, and those who lost their property or their property damage, that day becomes a public holiday. There's nothing wrong with that in a democracy. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm calling upon Kenyans, as a matter of respect, I am pleading with the Kenyans to either take part in the demonstrations or mark that day from their homes, so that we show the entire world that Kenya cannot live in a situation where impunity is not punished. And that is seen by the fact that the way this issue of compensation is being handled, instead of accountability and justice as a paramount requirement, they are putting a price tag on every death. If you go to court and you lose a person by way of an accident, or there's a malicious prosecution, or a policeman kills somebody and you go in a civil court and sue, you're most likely going to get damages of 20 or 30 million shillings. I know a lot of people have represented. Some of them were detained. I know some of them got away with 30 million shillings, 50 million shillings. I have represented people in courts out of a traffic accident, not a fatal one, and they get away with 20, 30 million shillings. By this arrangement, those who lost their loved ones, if they get about 3 million shillings for the loss of a young man like Ojwang, I don't think that that is adequate compensation.
Msimamo wa kusimama na wananchi ambao walinipigia kura. Hata wakati tuko bunge, wiki hii tumekuwa tunapambana na maneno ya ushuru, finance bill. Maisha ya wananchi imekuwa kali kabisa. Mafuta juzi walipandisha karibu na shilingi 200. Sasa saa hii vita imeisha Iran, mafuta haishuki. Serikali inaendelea kupandisha vitu yote. Mliona mimi kama mbunge wenyu siwezi mwaibisha na sitawahi mwaibisha. Tulipambana kabisa. Hiyo bunge iko na maneno mengi. Wale watu wanapeleka tumbo ni wengi. Lakini at least mbunge wenyu wa Bumula hiyo maneno. Na mwe mwambianga Jesu ni wandu wangu. Mara sendi mwambia hotao. Sisi tutaendelea kumfanyia kazi, tutaendelea kusimama na wananchi.
Mambo ile ya maendeleo ya Linda Mama, ya free primary education, free day secondary education, usalama. Babu, mimi nilitumia wakati mwingi sana hapa Kiambu nikiwa waziri wa usalama kuhakikisha kwamba kila mtu anafanya biashara zake na kila mtu anaishi maisha yake. That is the foremost duty of government. Na tunawahakikishia, I will pledge this to you that majaliwa ya Mwenyezi Mungu, kwa sababu Mungu ndio tu atatuamulisha, ndio atatuelekeza. Tuko kwa kanisa na tunamwamini Mwenyezi Mungu. Hata tukitafuta yale tunatafuta, tunamuomba Mwenyezi Mungu akitujalia tupate baraka, tupate nafasi ya kuendelesha mambo yetu ya maendeleo. Sisi tuko tayari kufanya hiyo kazi na kuregesha usalama ule uliokuwa mbeleni, ili tuendelee na shughuli zetu za ujenzi wa taifa.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.